Hi, good morning. So I've got some really big tips here that's going to help everybody get all the 10 exotic cars in a single day. There's lots of misconceptions out there, and there's lots of mistakes that people are making without even realizing that they're making mistakes. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is just load up an invite-only session. And I did this alone yesterday, and then 2 days ago, my wife and I did it in an invite-only session, so it can absolutely be done. So you're going to load up the game. You're going to get into a low-flying vehicle, such as the Oppressor, the Buzzard, the Sparrow, or whatever you really prefer. And then you're just going to slowly go around the map. Now, these are things people already know, but things that people don't know or may not know is that if you see a sleeping guard on the ground or a drug vehicle spawn, it's a good idea to do it. Because the way that the random events are scripted in GTA Online, as far as the event being a sleeping guard or a car, it's the same thing to the game. So if you don't do the guard, then the next car may not spawn. Or if you don't deliver the drug vehicle, then the car that you need may not spawn. Another really big mistake that people are making is they'll check the list as soon as they log in, and they'll see, a Fister Comet, okay, for example. This spawns naturally, so I'll just go steal one and deliver it. Well, you're not going to want to do that either, because the order of the cars spawning has already been determined by the game. And if you deliver a car that spawns naturally, you can theoretically completely throw off the order that the cars spawn in, and then you're sort of screwed, okay? So there is a spawn list of 100 locations. Most of the spawns take place in the city. So what I would recommend doing is just go around the city until you have satisfied yourself that fly around the city until you've determined that there's nothing in the city, and then branch up. I used a route where I did sort of a figure 8 around the map, but it's really up to you how you want to check them. But because there's so many in the city, I recommend checking that out first. Another thing just to mention is don't get discouraged. Don't think that something wrong has happened, because if you check all those spawn locations, you will find the car. Okay, even if it's one of the last possible spawns. I ended up finding one at the industrial site on the east side of the map, and I thought something had been wrong, but sure enough, it wasn't. So some more things that can interrupt the process is I would recommend not doing any of the delivery missions, such as when NPCs will bring cars to your auto shop for you to customize and deliver. Don't do that. Don't do any of the secure serve missions, such as the Headhunter or any of the most wanted challenge. Nothing. Do nothing other than just load up the invite-only session and begin looking for these cars. So some things that may interrupt the process that are out of your control would be instances of the Rockstar servers going down. I know that can kind of screw it up. So if you notice above your map that it says saving failed or so, it's best to stop playing at that point and check back later. Another thing that can interrupt the process out of your control would be something like the nightclub getting raided and you needing to defend it from the police or retrieve electronics, stuff like that. Involuntary random events. If one of those kicks off during the process of collecting the cars, you may also be out of luck, unfortunately. So the best thing to do at that point would be just to completely start over as well. And really just the biggest thing that I didn't know about that I think more people need to know about is just that the order of the cars is determined from the start. Do not deliver any of them that you see driving around. They will spawn, okay? One more thing that's important to note is that the cars are scripted in a way that once you find one, the next one has already spawned as well. So if you wanted to do this with a friend or two, and you guys wanted to just scout the map together, that's a great way to do it. Now, I did this with my wife just the other day, and there was one instance where she was driving a car back and found another one on the way back to the docks. So I just hopped in that, and then we delivered two at a time, basically. Now, one glitch that can happen that's in your favor is one of the people in your group, or maybe even you, can be gifted with this weird Foresight glitch, where basically you don't have to get anywhere close to the car and you'll just notice it spawn on the map. This happened once a few days ago, but unfortunately we had already screwed up the order, so we didn't get all 10 cars. But basically on my wife's account, she was noticing the cars spawning from like a mile away, you know, whereas you normally need to get really close. She could just see these things spawning like anywhere. So if that happens, congratulations. And also, don't deliver anything, okay? So if you have that ability, you don't do anything to interrupt that. So other people, like, you find the cars, and then someone else should come and deliver it for you, like an organization member, okay? Because that's a very fortunate, you know, glitch that's happening, and don't do anything to kind of disrupt that. Now, the last thing that I do want to say is there is currently an exploit going around where you can, I'm not going to really explain how to do it, but there's a glitch going around to deliver cars. Okay, like, for example, if you have the car, there's a way to deliver that as the car that's on the list. I'm not going to explain how to do it, and I would really urge people to just stay away from that entirely, just because historically, whenever they have big updates and people take advantage of these glitches, there are, you know, normally people who get banned, or they'll modify your account and take money. Just kind of stay away from it. I mean, the biggest example of this I can think about is the garage glitch, where people were selling properties when they upped the property number from like 5 to 7 or something like that. Just do it legitimately. It's not that hard, I promise. It'll probably take you between an hour and 3 hours, depending on how lucky you are. But don't give up on it. I promise that you can do it, and good luck.